So I don't know if this is working now. What happened? I'm confused. It didn't say anything on my end that anything had happened. I am so confused. What happened exactly? Is it because I said a Warframe is a he, not a she? Is that it? Because I said the wrong pronouns? Is that what happened? Because I really don't care if a Warframe is male or female, because they're not people. They're not people. Warframes are meat suits. But it could be because I might have... Okay, so one thing, all right? Nintendo, screw you. If you're working my stream, screw you, Nintendo. All right? I used to be a huge fan. I have multiple Switches, by the way. Okay? I actually have rare Switches, okay? I was able to get the 35-year anniversary Mario Nintendo Switch. I have the Monster Hunter Switch because I'm saving them for, you know, in the future. Okay, so screw you, Nintendo. I like the Switch. I have a Switch. I have a Switch OLED. I like the Switch. But what you're doing with the Switch 2 is scummy as hell. And I'm out. Like, I was this close. I was this close to getting this, to be, like, I'm even on the list, the alert list from Nintendo when they'll let you know you could pre-order it. And then I was like, no. So, the fact that the game isn't even on the cart... Look, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I always like to hear... The opinion I have is this. Okay, we are in a different world when it comes to gaming. We are in a very different world... we are in a very different world when it comes to gaming. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I felt this when Naughty Dog announced their game. All of the old guard are very arrogant about it. Naughty Dog thinks that because they are Naughty Dog, we are sitting on the edges of our seats waiting for something made by Naughty Dog. We are in a different world where there are literally thousands of games on Steam. And people can make their own video games, like basically a one-person team can make a video game. Donkey Kong is a great game, don't get me wrong. Mario games are great. However, there are thousands of platformers at this point. So you can't play Donkey Kong. I bet you there are a couple hundred alternatives to Donkey Kong. We are in a world now where Metroid Prime 4 looks... First of all, it's coming out on Switch. But we're in a world now where...
Our position has been compromised.
That's the thing also, Zenny. I don't play my Switch enough because I have a Steam Deck. And honestly, I play my Steam Deck a lot more than my Switch. And now, and look, I was never, one of the reasons I avoided emulation was because I was like, okay, I'd rather pay the money and buy a physical copy from Nintendo. But if you're not even giving me a physical copy, Nintendo, what the hell? I said, look, somebody was telling me that Keemstar watches, they were talking about the protest, right? Look, let me be clear, okay? I have no idea who Keemstar is, okay? I know he's a live streamer, so if he's pissed at me, I don't know if I got him pissed or not. I haven't, because apparently I don't watch, this isn't meant to be belittle or insult other people who live stream, okay? I don't watch live streams of other people. I don't watch other people playing video games. I like Real Hypnotic. I like Indeon. I like, Smash JT. I don't watch them playing video games because I rather play video games. So at one point they're like, who's your favorite gaming live streamer? I'm like, me, because I don't watch them. And it's not because I'm arrogant. It's not because I'm trying to insult anybody. Okay, let me be clear. I have a rough idea of some of the names of some people just because I hear other people talking about them. So I know that Dr. Disaster live streams, but I would rather play the game myself. So I don't know anybody who live streams. other than like through vague mention. Like you said, I only know Dr. Disaster. Ooh. Hi, Steve. Wait, about the protest, right? That was, first of all, let me just say, that was amazing. Because I love playing video games myself. So, like I said, I don't... So, the reason I was late today, by the way, is like I said, I was at a pro-Tesla protest. It was amazing. It was amazing. You guys, you feel, especially if you're in, like, New Jersey, you think you're alone. And then you meet amazing people. It was just amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, just, everyone was hugging. Everyone was just, like, so happy. It was amazing. I loved it. And the support we got was amazing. Everyone was just so, like I said, like, at least 75% of the people who were driving by, like, either negative or positive, it was all positive. It was all thumbs up, and yeah, it was amazing. And it was wet, and it was cold, but it was like, no, we have to do this. We have to let people know that you're not alone, that we want New Jersey to be better, and I've met, there was a woman, like I said, I do someone from Cuba, some people from China, and it's just, yeah. So that's why I was late. That's why, Sticky Liver, it was great to see you. I hope I didn't make an idiot of myself. I'm still, but it was amazing. And I'm like, I'm part of the Patriots Club. I'm like, yeah, I'm just all in, okay? I do not want to go back to... A lot of people do not know just how, if you're not... And one of the things... Okay, I keep going between the Switch and the Trump rally, the Trump-Elon rally. The thing is... So... The thing is, first off, is I don't want to go back. Like, people don't understand, unless you're on the internet, just how bad the censorship got. And I don't want to go back to that. Okay, fine. Prices will go up until this economy stabilizes, okay? Prices might go up, might go down. It doesn't matter. Regardless of price. Regardless. Our freedom is too important. So anyway, so I keep saying it was an amazing thing. Everyone loved my hat. It was amazing, and it was just amazing. Like I said, with the Switch 2, even if you want the Switch 2, my personal opinion is wait. Just wait. They'll probably come up, give it a while. They'll probably come up with hardware upgrades. I love Nintendo, but at this point, I want this whole thing to crash and burn. I'm sorry, Nintendo, but their actions are going to raise the price of games. Because of Nintendo. And everyone was like, no one ever thought it would be because of Nintendo. But we're going to see $80 game. I mean, come on. If Mario Kart... It's the fact that so many, it's especially if you're New Jersey, right? It's harder because you think everybody's crazy, and then you go to something like this and you're reminded, and it also that look. It's terrifying, the thought of the censorship coming back again. It's terrifying. I'm stubborn AF, and I don't... Censorship terrifies me. And I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to... The funny thing is, when it comes to the Switch 2, Nintendo is doing worse than Sony. Like, in the beginning, at least, PS5 upgrades were for free. Remember when Horizon Forbidden West came out? Everyone was was buying it on PS4 because it came with a free PS5 upgrade, right? Now, after the fact, a bunch of games now are being they're charging you $10 for them. But initially, they were releasing all of these upgrades for free. I'm really, really, really angry with Nintendo at this point. I'm very angry with Nintendo. Because physical games and having a physical copy is very important.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Like... And we have Sony. I never thought Nintendo would be scummier than Sony. Like... I never thought I would see the day where Nintendo... And I know someone who works for Nintendo. And I'm tempted to text him and be like, dude, you might want to hide that Nintendo logo on your shirt. People I work with, right? We were all, okay, this happened, right? Right before, like, a month or so before the Nintendo Direct, right? I was talking with the guys, right? I'm like, all right, who's going to buy a Switch 2? And I'm like, does the specs matter? Everyone's like, no, we're all getting Switch 2. Everyone I knew was like, specs don't matter. It's like, I don't need to see the Nintendo Direct. I know I'm going to get a Switch 2. Everyone was saying we're going to get a Switch 2. It's Nintendo. Nintendo's awesome. We trust Nintendo. Nintendo always does great things, right? Every single one of them, after the fact, was like, hell no. The micro SD cards, the digital. Everyone changed their mind. I think I know only one person who's still like, yeah, I'll get it. Everyone. And I think my theory on what's going to happen is this. It's going to sell out. The Nintendo fanboys, the hardcore gamers, the people who have to have everything are going to pre-order it, right? Because pre-orders are very few, all right? Initial batch is going to be pretty small. It's going to easily sell out, right? But what gave the Nintendo Switch legs, the fact that up until now, right, the Nintendo Switch, right, up until now, like, the Switch surpassed the PS2, right? Hey, Behemoth. The Switch surpassed because of normies. Normies are the big thing. Parents would come in and buy 2 Switches, right? Switch Lights. They'd buy a Switch and a Switch Lite. They'd buy multiple things for their kids. But even if the price doesn't go up, which we don't know yet because the tariffs are constantly, like, I had this company that I used to buy. I bought one item from them from Canada once, years ago, like 2 years ago. No, a year ago. It was a year ago. And they sent me, and I forgot I was on their mailing list because I was never getting alerts from them, right? They sent me an email telling me their product is going to go up in price because of the tariffs, right? This was like when the first round, right? And then it was reversed. So they sent me another email saying, oh no, there's no tariffs. But then I noticed now they're sending me so much advertisements. My guess is their first email where they said, yeah, tariffs, drove customers away. Because it's like, okay, I'm not paying $80 for that. I'll just find it. So I guess they drove people away and people just were like, okay, in the 2 or 3 days, they went, okay, I'm going to buy American now. And now they're basically begging every week with more ads saying, hey, we have sales! Because everybody turned their back on you, I guess. So even if the Switch 2 doesn't go up in price, which we don't know what's going on, parents are going to spend $400. I'm sorry, Nintendo. I am 100% sorry, Nintendo. But if anybody asks me, what console should I get? Like, if you can only have one console right now, if you have kids, I'd say the Switch. Not the Switch 2, the Switch. Or PS5.
Broke their ranks and they are
Okay,
online.
glow my game.
Another successful mission. Find extraction.
If I were to, okay. If I were to, if somebody were to come to me, right, and say, all right, I want to buy a video game console. I want to buy a console for my kids. I would say the Switch or a PS5. And as you all know, I'm a big Xbox person. I like the Xbox. But the PS5 has better exclusives. And it's more popular, so you're going to have a bigger chance. All right, did I get the 3? It's not people. Nintendo is killing their normie audience, and I have to figure out how to do that. Don't I even? Oh yeah, but I have to do that. So, I mean, I signed up for the alert. I was this close to getting it, to getting the Switch 2. And then, the battery life killed it for me. The battery life, and then finding out that the games aren't physical. So it's like, I can live with, I don't, what is Nintendo doing? That is really sad. Controversial take, I like Astrobot more than Super Mario. I'm sorry, I like Astrobot more than Super Mario. I think Astrobot was an amazingly creative game.
Eliminate all Corvus threats.
Wait, what? Oh, right, yeah. I'm sorry, brother! I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother, but for free gun, I gotta do it. I'm sorry, brother. I agree. And the thing is, there was a time, no, and I think one of the things is, also with Super Mario, is we live in a different age where there are so many other better platformers that Nintendo isn't as unique as it. Okay. So one of the lessons I learned from not playing Destiny. So I used to be a massive, you guys know, right? The main problem I have with it. And it's going to be worse on the Switch too. So, one of the lessons I learned from Destiny 2. Okay, I used to play so much Destiny 2. And then I stopped. And I realized there are so many better games out there. We forget, and we're in a world where Nintendo's games don't have competition now. There are better platformers than Mario. There are better games than Zelda. And so it's like, it's not that big a sacrifice to me to go without Zelda. I can live now. It's not like there's no alternative. There was a time when the only games you could get were very few, limited developers. Now, people are making video games in their own, that Sector 1 game I'm hearing is very, very good, and it was made by one guy. And Metroid is cool, but there are a lot of games. There's just so many games right now. You know, the crazy thing is, by the way, the number of Destiny people I see playing Warframe is blowing my mind. I'll just get Mylan Games. Mylan, right? The guy who used to do Destiny lore is playing Warframe. Astacross. It blows my mind the number of Destiny people who are playing Warframe now.
Walkers incoming.
And their reactions to when they play Warframe is hilarious. I love watching their reactions. I said, I'm playing Warframe because I'm exhausted. I was jumping around. I was bouncing around. I was, you know, I'm like exhausted from it. So I'm like, I don't want to think. I haven't played Destiny 2 in weeks. I think the final straw for me was seeing the Dreadnought as a multiplayer activity. I'm like, you have the Dreadnought back and you turned it into a multiplayer activity. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to know if anybody's actually really interested. Is anybody interested in Marathon? Because I know I'm not. Brother, I'm sorry. Forgive me, brother. It's just... Hey, Primal One, what's up? I said, I was at a... Hi, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have not heard anybody talking about Marathon. Do I have any? No, it doesn't matter. I have a cover. So Marathon is supposed to be Bungie's new game. Their for their new game. It's supposed to be, I thought it was an extraction shooter, but now I hear some people saying it's actually a hero shooter. It's a multiplayer PvP thing because Bungie they are out of their minds. No, Bungie's dead. Bungie is dead. Like, it's sad what's going on. But they did it to themselves. Get woke, go broke. Woke tards. Tomorrow I have to do my taxes, so I will probably not be on as I sit down and finally do that. Like, look. Now, the key thing is, can Warframe maintain it? DE is in the perfect position. So many Warframe Destiny people are coming to Warframe. Can they maintain it? Like...
The inbox has messages for the operator. Anything about orders in there?
That's the key thing now. Can DE maintain it? I hope... I don't think they're stupid. Hey, Georgia. Who's stripping more? Nintendo. Nintendo. Nintendo is arrogant. Nintendo has gotten to the point where they think that people will do whatever they want. Nintendo thinks that people, and I think they have their hardcore fan base, but the problem is, and what drove the Switch to the position it is not the hardcore fanboys. It's the normies. It's the woman who wants to buy a Christmas present and goes into Walmart and buys a Nintendo Switch. It's the grandmother who's like, oh, my grandkids want a Switch. It's $300. I'll buy it for them and maybe I'll toss in a game. It's the normies. They have gotten, because they have billions of dollars in the bank, they have gotten arrogant and they think they could do no wrong. And I think even in the last 7 years since the release of the Switch and then now this Switch 2, more people are making their own video games. Like, when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, there are so many games that are like Zelda that, okay, does it sadden me? Yeah, if there's a new Zelda game on the Switch too, but you know what? I have a massive backlog, and there are thousands of games out there. Donkey Kong is no longer as unique as it used to be. So they are dealing with a very, very different world. And the thing is, Nintendo used to be in its own unique niche. Nintendo was not competing with the Steam Deck, the Xbox, or the PlayStation. Most people used to buy a Switch and a PC, or a Switch and a PS5, because they could afford it, okay? Because the Switch was $300 or $200, depending on what you got. If you are trying to compete with the PS5 or a PC or a Steam Deck, Nintendo isn't going to win. Yes, Nintendo is only surviving because of their IPs. And the thing is, their IPs are no longer as unique as they used to be. I'm not okay. I look at the Donkey Kong game. I thought it looked okay, but it's like, okay, there are hundreds of alternatives at this point. I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat going, I can't wait for this. I'm more like, okay, well, okay. On top of that, a lot of these games are coming out to the Switch anyway, so like, okay, fine. All right, I'll play it. I'll play it on the Switch, and if it's, that's it. Because what drove the Switch to be in this position? Yeah, they are getting very lazy with their IPs. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that Nintendo has gotten extremely arrogant, and they don't realize just how that yes, again, this thing is going to sell well because there are not going to be enough consoles. Scalpers are a serious problem. Scalpers and hardcore fans. Hardcore gamers are going to buy it. They'll probably push this along for the first year. But what kept the Switch going for as long as it had is normies. It's like with, it's just flat, it's normies. And it's like, how many of us own multiple Switches? How many parents bought one Switch for each kid? Okay? Or the Switch Lite? A lot. What carried the Switch is normies, because we have to remember the normie audience is the majority. But if you think this is going to work, especially with the economy the way it is, you've got serious problems. Pokemon especially. And they're like, oh yeah, there's going to be an upgrade pack. Yeah, well, you should have made it work the first time. Yeah, no, if you, like I said, I was talking with, and look, I work with like hardcore more hardcore gamers than the normies, okay? And look, I don't always agree with him, okay? I like to sometimes watch his reviews because he's like woke tard levels, but even Angry Joe was like, he's not buying this thing. The moment I heard Angry Joe say, yeah, he's not buying it, I was like, okay, Nintendo's in trouble now. Angry Joe, I'm seeing big Nintendo people, right? Like big YouTubers going, you know what? I'm out. Big people on YouTube with big channels going, you know what? I'm going to just sit this one out for now. Yeah. I'm not selling my Nintendo stock because I'm hoping it'll be made up with the movies and the parks, but I'm not happy as a I am a Nintendo shareholder. Okay.
You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations.
That's why I'm not buying the next.
Prepared for heavy resistance.
I'm not buying the next console, all right? Let me be clear. This is my last console. I'm going PC after this. My last console is the Xbox Series X. Like, I'm seeing big Nintendo people. Dreamcast guy, who I don't agree with him always, and he's always so optimistic, was pissed. Nintendo Life. There are big Nintendo channels. Hell, there's a channel called Kira, like they were former Nintendo employees, and even they were like, yeah, Nintendo screwed this one up. Like big Nintendo people who are constantly like, I go to them for Nintendo stuff, or like, yeah, this was a bad one. This was really bad. I mean, Dreamcast guy, who I normally, I can tolerate him. He's okay. At times he pisses me off. Dreamcast guy is pissed. RGT85. I mean, he's buying it. It's understandable. He uses it for his channel. RGT85 was like, people are angry at Nintendo. Like I said, every guy I work right before this happened, everyone was like, "Yeah, I'm getting this. This is, absolutely, it's Nintendo." Now they're all like, "Yeah, hell no." And I said I work with hardcore gamers, right? Like, one of the guys I work with has like a Wii and, a GameCube. We did game night once and he like brought a game. It's like he brought stuff. He's got stuff. He has like PS3, PS2, right? This is big hardcore gamer, right? He was like, I'm not getting it. So I decided this was my last console generation. That's it. I'm going PC after this. I might, at the end of the generation, pick up a backup PS5 and a backup Xbox because I have so many discs. But this is it. I'm not going after the PS6. I'm not going after the Xbox, whatever. That's it. That's it. I'm out. Yeah. Nintendo really messed up on this one. This one, they're also not being very clear. So everything, you're hearing contradictory information all over the place. The latest thing is that games like Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 are going to be a Switch 1 game with a code in it. Like, I don't even know, are these like codes, these like key cards going to work offline? Because one of the nice things about the Switch was I would take it with me to Egypt where I don't have Wi-Fi. Will I be able to use games for the Switch without internet? It's like, what are you doing? They got really, really arrogant, which is something. I mean. I'm really, like, I was never into, one of the reasons I never really got into, I never even considered emulation was because I want a physical copy. So I was like, great, okay, no, I'd rather pay the money and have a physical copy. Now, if you're telling me, being Swift for funding, oh, I don't give a shit. It's softcore. And it was legal. He wasn't doing anything bad. I don't care. Look, first off, it was also 20 years ago. I like what, okay. All right, Grum's thing. I like what Grum said. Okay, first off, okay, because this is serious. Let me just pause this for a moment. All right. First off, he said it was softcore, so it's none of that hardcore stuff. It was paywalled, which means no kids were getting into it. He also didn't do anything with kids, nothing illegal. It was paywalled, so you weren't getting people going in who were too young for it. Okay. Scrums also pointed something out during the Saturday Night, I think it was Flashcast, where he said that his view. No, I don't think he's a complete weirdo and a grifter. The second, he also pointed out that one of the problems with this whole corn industry is back then it was hard to get to find. It was paywalled. Now, it was softcore. I listened to it. No, it was softcore. But even if it wasn't, I don't care. Okay, but he said it was softcore, and I believe him. So you know what? I don't care. All right, it was 20 years ago. It was softcore. It was It was paywalled. There were no kids involved. His mother knew about it. His mother was a Playboy bunny, apparently. So I don't care. His mother knew about it. His mother knew about it. His wife knew about it. His mother was in Playboy. So I don't care either. I genuinely don't care. Okay? I like Grums. And you know what? This was 20 years ago. Why should he came on Flashcast and said he wanted to get ahead of it and to confess everything he'd done. Okay? He said it was softcore. Okay? He said it was paywalled. There's none of that creepy kid stuff. And even if it was hardcore, which it wasn't, And even if it wasn't, and it was hardcore, it was paywalled. Why should I care? He wasn't involved in it. He was the one taking the photographs too. And even if he was, why should I care again? He's not a grifter because you know what? He could have made a lot more money now if he did that. All right. That wasn't him. That was someone else. How stupid do you think I am? All right? That thing has been going on for years. He wasn't even there when that happened. So you know what? Keep talking, bro. Okay? It wasn't him. It was someone else. So you're basically repeating all the BS off of the internet. I don't care. Okay? It wasn't him. So you know what? It was softcore. I'm more likely to believe him than someone who believes the BS about the breast milk nonsense. So you know what? Now I know for sure that Grums is telling the truth because you're lying. Yeah. His mom knew. No, it wasn't him. Okay? It wasn't him. It's been proven multiple times he wasn't even working there at the time. So no, it wasn't him. Okay? As I said, his mother was in Playboy. His mother knew about it. His wife knew about it. Okay? I haven't played his game. I'm not a backer. But now I want to give it a try. I don't know anything about it. Okay? I don't care. All right? Whatever. You know what? Like I said, I'm not invested in it. I've never played it. I don't know anything about it. You can't even back it right now because I was going to back it because I was curious to give it a try. Because it's clear he's trying to work on it. But even if it's an acid play, all right? Yeah, everyone's obsessed with getting obsessed with it. Go watch the Flashcast on Sunday. They'll talk about it. But no. Sure you are. Like I said, go watch the live stream from Flashcast. Grums talks about it. This whole thing, yeah. The breast milk thing, he wasn't even working there at the time. And I'm more likely to take his word over yours, okay? And yeah, it's not my job. You know what? Go find it out for yourself. Like you said, it's not my job. You figure it out for yourself. Like I said, even if it was hard, which we know it wasn't, even if it was, I don't care. It was 20 years ago, okay? It was 20 years ago. And you're saying is proof. I'm going to believe him before I believe you because you know if he's lying, people will pull up the evidence. And you know what? No one talks about it primarily anymore, okay? More proof than yours, okay? On top of that, it has been proven, all right? This has been debunked numerous times, okay? You coming in here telling me, no, all right? I don't got a problem with Grums. I don't care, okay? He did stuff 20 years ago, made a ton of money off of it. He wasn't even involved in photographing it, okay? He's the one who photographed it. He wasn't a model, all right? Apparently, he even treated the models ridiculously well. Go look it up for yourself. You're not going to change my mind, bro. Okay? You're not changing my mind about Grums. I've seen enough that I believe him. You're coming in here. No, there wasn't. Okay? No, there wasn't. So kindly go ahead. Get the hell out. Go. Shoo. I'm not wasting my time anymore. All right? Like I said, I thought you were genuine. You wanted to know my opinion because everyone's like, oh, the hardcore conservatives are going to like what Grums did in the past. So I was like, yeah, obviously it wasn't him. He wasn't working there at the time. Okay? And if you're going to come with the guy who's wearing the shirt, no. So, you know what? Fine. If I'm deluded, go. Okay, if you got a problem, like I said, I don't got a problem with Grums at all. All right? You're not going to convince me. Dude, go. Okay? I'm not wasting my time with you anymore. Go. No, you're not genuinely asking. All right? You're a troll, and I've learned my lesson a while ago. It took me a while to learn my lesson about the whole thing. I used to engage with people a little too much with the trolls, all right? I learned my lesson a while ago. I started to finally realize that people come in here just to argue. You aren't genuinely asking, so you know what, bro? I don't care, all right? I'm not going to mess around with this person. Like I said, that's why, like I said, I'm not going to play any games with him. Look, one of the lessons I learned And it was when someone came in here and tried to get me riled up about Destiny 2 again, right? Was that people are going to come in here to argue with me for the sake of arguing. And I got to learn how to cut it out. I need to learn how to basically just be like, yeah, you're here to troll.
You still need to get your monitor?
Yeah. When do you go? Right now?
Wanna go now?
Sure. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right there.
What's a couple minutes?
5 minutes?
Okay.
Anyway, just want to say, like I said, okay, I learned people were coming here to troll, all right? I said, I thought initially that this person was being genuine because, like they said the only people that might have a problem with Grums, his past, are more hardcore conservatives who are going to be like, oh, he was doing that stuff. So I thought, oh, seeing me in the hijab, they think, okay, you're a hardcore conservative. You're not going to be happy with that stuff. Look, first off, even if it was hardcore, it was 20 years ago. This whole thing that, like, I voted for Clinton in 2016, okay? I was that dumb, okay? People change. He even changed. One of the things he said that I found respectful about Grum, that he said his view on the whole corn industry has changed because now it's free and available to everyone. And he said back then it was limited, it was paywalled, okay, it was, not everyone could get it, so it wasn't like as harmful to society as it is now. Now it's everywhere, kids find it, whereas when he was working on it, it was paywalled, it was only adults, and he said it was softcore because he said he didn't like adult stuff, okay? Going full through. So I said, I thought this person was genuine at first because they wanted to know where a conservative. Look, I don't care. It's 20 years ago. His whole view on the whole thing has changed 20 years ago. Yeah. On top of that, don't tell me you got a problem with it when you the whole side that doesn't like Grums. What is an echo chamber? Are you the same dude from before coming in here and trying to start shit, Shandu? Because I'm not in the mood. Okay, I'm not gonna. So, okay. I have not backed his game. I actually want to try. You know what? I want to see it. All right, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think Drums has done more good. Oh, you're back again. Look, you're back again. I have a serious problem with people who also feel the need to come and switch accounts over and over again to continue an argument that I already said I'm not going to have. Okay? So, Shandu, you're the same person. I don't like it when people do that. I really don't. Okay? Don't do that. I already said that I did not want to talk with you about it, okay? You got a problem with Grums? That's your problem, not mine, all right? So, you know what? The thing is, I need to go anyway because I have to pick up a monitor that I need to pick it up, okay? I bought it, I need to pick it up, okay? So, I already have to go, but no. I've already told you where I stand on this. I don't have a problem with Grums. If you do, that's your problem, okay? I'm not playing this game. Okay. I'm originally from America. I was born in America. I know very little about the political situation in Egypt. I go to Egypt every year for 2 weeks to visit family. I have no clue what's going on in Egypt. I'm an American. My main issue is politics in America, not Egypt. I don't live there, okay? I really don't know. I haven't even been to Egypt in like 4 years because of COVID. I am of Egyptian descent. I love Egypt, okay? But anyway, I have to go because I have to go pick something up from a store. All right? So I don't know if I'll be back again, but I've already given you my thoughts on Grums, and don't waste my time, okay? No, no one's being mean. No, people are just apparently I had another troll come in here and getting pissed at me over Grums and how I don't. Okay. I think that the tariffs in the long run are going to be a good thing. I think that the tariffs are being fair. Why is it that we have to pay tariffs on other countries and they don't have to pay tariffs in return? Reciprocal tariffs are fair. Is it going to be easy? We are reshaping our economy, okay? There's going to be some difficult times ahead, okay? It's not going to be easy. It hit me now with the Nintendo Switch 2, okay? I'm not happy, but, okay? But at the same time, I understand that, for example, I was listening to people talking about the fact that we are changing the GDP. The GDP counts government spending and private spending, okay? The goal is to try and focus more on private spending and adding more to it. So on the one hand, yes, it's going to be painful as we reshape the economy. Things are not going to be easy. But you know what? The tariffs are a small price to pay for what Harris was going to do.
Yellow, let's go. I'm trying to eat dinner.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right there. So no, I have no problem with it, okay? At the end of the day, you know what? Ask yourself one simple question, okay? Harris or Trump? Right now, anything Trump does is better than Harris, okay? Trump, we have freedom that Harris would have taken away. And, as I said, we are reshaping the economy completely. It's going to be painful at times. There are a lot far more outspoken Trump supporters than me, okay? So, is it going to be difficult? Yes. You know what? I've already set aside, I have a huge backlog of video games. I don't need to worry about gaming. I just picked up a monitor, right? Okay, I picked up a monitor as a backup, all right? So I'm good. I can hold out. I have plenty of cat food. I'm good. I know things are not going to be easy. But you know what? In the long run, and one last thing, because I have to go. If there's one thing, and this is we were talking about during the rally, and this is this. Trump's heart is in the right place. Unlike every other politician right now in D.C., other than Elon, Trump genuinely cares about America. Even if he makes a mistake, he's trying to make America better. He's not perfect. Okay, he's not perfect. Like I say, he's not perfect, and he might make mistakes, and things might get difficult at times. But there's one thing you know about Donald Trump. He genuinely cares about America, and he cares about the American people. He's the only one. He did not have to run. In fact, if he wasn't president, it would have been a lot easier for him. That's the one thing I know about Trump. Whether he makes mistakes with tariffs or anything political, if he ever makes mistakes, there's one thing you know about Trump. He cares about America and the American people, and he's willing to sacrifice a lot for that. So you can get critical about his decisions, but there's one thing, regardless, whatever decision he makes, the main reason he's making it is because he wants to help Americans. You can't say that about Harris. You can't say that about anyone in Congress or anyone in the Senate or anyone else, but Trump did not have to be there. He did not have to run for president. In fact, if he had turned to them and said, I'm not running, they would have dropped their lawfare against this man. He doesn't have to do this. The same with Elon, and that's how you know, no matter what he does, Trump is doing it because he cares about Americans. Period. At the end of the day, that's all I know. Okay? That's what I need to know. So that's my thought. At the end of the day, he's doing it because he cares. He's not perfect. He'll make mistakes. Things are being shot at him all over. People are going after him all over. He's not getting everything he wants done, but his heart is in the right place. He cares about Americans more than anyone else in political office. More than anyone, Trump does. And that I know, and that's how I can trust the guy, even when things look bad, even when the Switch is double the price. You know what? I still know where's Trump coming from.